Got a big one ahead, fighting at Rio UFC 237. Looking forward to this one. It's a big one, Aldo, Jose Aldo, such a big fight, such a big name. It's a really important fight for me, and I can't wait to go out there and do my thing.
One of the greatest fighters. How does that play in your preparation?
In preparation for Aldo, again, he's a legend of the sport. He's been around. He's like one of the best featherweights of all time. But that's not really playing anything into my fight camp. I'm not going out there thinking that the job can't be done. Obviously, we wouldn't take that fight if we didn't think we could do the job. But obviously, we're expecting a dangerous Aldo. We're still expecting a very competitive Aldo. But I just believe the game's evolving and the game has changed, and he is still very competitive. But I just believe I'm going to be bringing things to the table that he hasn't dealt with before, and the game's evolving and I'm evolving with it, and I just think that I think I'm just going to be too much for him come May 11th.
How about fighting in foreign soil, his homeland? Is that play a disadvantage to you?
Fighting in his hometown, really does not play a factor on my end. I really don't think that, I'm not the type to really look at the crowd or really play into the whole crowd. Even when I'm fighting at home, it's always good to fight at home, but I don't really hear the crowd. I've got like I just focus on what's in front of me. That's all I see. What's in that cage. I'm going to be sitting there, and I'm going to have Aldo across from me, and that's all I'm going to see. And I'm just going to be listening to the corner. It's something that I've always been pretty good at doing. If something I got my focus, everything else sort of zones out. I can just zone in on what's in front of me and focus 100% on that. So that'll really help me, especially fighting in his hometown, because the crowd, they're very passionate, and he's a legend over there. He's like a god over there. So I'm expecting the crowd to go nuts, but at the same time, that won't play a factor on my half. Obviously, caught my eye with his infection. Aldo's had an infection. Back to he was in hospital, and there's still talk that he's the fight might be in jeopardy for it, and even he thinks he's not 100% sure, which I just don't know why. Like, I think from what I know, it's a staph infection, very common for us. We've all done it. Still so much time till then, so I don't think that's going to play a factor. He'll turn up, and if he doesn't, you know what I mean. Like, I honestly, I don't know if it's something else that's happening, or he just doesn't really want that fight. I don't know, but I'm expecting a really, if he's got his mind like that, if he's not really 100% in this fight, and if he's looking at that, the finish line, he's talking about maybe retiring soon. If you've got that in your head, if that's your mind state at the moment, and I put that pressure on you, you're gonna give up real quick in there. So he better switch it around and you really switch on, because I'm gonna be coming at him very hard. And again, if he's looking for a way out, I'll make him look for a way out real quick. He's for me, I'm training for Aldo no matter what. So I'm training hard. At the end of the day, I'm training hard no matter what. I'm not going to sit there and he might not be fighting, so I'm going to sit back. Yeah, if an opponent change does happen, that would suck. But at the same time, all my camps are really focused on what I'm going to do. Obviously, we've got to, we're working on things that he might bring to the to the table that we need to sort of game plan around. But at the same time, I'm always going to do my game. I'm still doing all aspects of the game right now, so I'll be prepared. Even if it was a late replacement change, I'll be ready for it. So that's I'm not really worried about it. I'm just training for Aldo, and I will until I hear otherwise. So this date was a bit of a tricky one for me. So when Aldo originally, I called him out, and then he was didn't seem that interested in that fight, like whether he didn't know who I was, or he didn't know I called him out, and he's just like, oh yeah, sorry to that guy, wasn't interested or something. So I didn't think much of it, and then I end up hearing his corner, his management company, like his manager and his coaches throw my name out there. So I started thinking, oh wow, this must be happening. And there wouldn't be a reason, why else would he say my name? And then my wife tells me about the date, and I'm the best man at my mate's wedding, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I was sort of like hoping that fight didn't happen on that date, because it was just it's just, again, I'm a loyal type of guy, you know what I mean, and to miss out on my mate's wedding would be a big deal. I know some people would be like, oh yeah, who cares? But for me, that's a big deal. I'm a very loyal type of guy, and that would really hit me hard if I couldn't make it. But he changed the date for me, so that was a pretty crazy, for someone to do that. Just shows you how close we are, what type of people they are. So I'm very lucky to have them in my life. But at the same time, it's just, that's just crazy, and not many people would change their wedding date for someone else, you know, just so I could fight. So it was something that I will, you know, obviously I've got a family that I got to look after, so I had to take that fight. As much as it would have sucked if I couldn't make the wedding, that's what was going to happen, and he knew that, and he was never going to put pressure on me not to fight. So he just asked his fiancée Lauren if he, you know, about changing the date. You know, he took a risk of even asking, and yeah, she was all for it. And then they looked into it, and then smooth sailing from there. They made the change, and it's just crazy. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I'm very lucky to have them in my life. So it's just unreal. At City Kickboxing, just really to, you know, to peak right at the right time. Not only for that, but obviously I've been battling back injuries, and my body just wasn't right. So a lot of the times I had to get over that and then start my camp and then come here. Where now I'm in my body's in such a good, you know, form, and you know, I just kept training straight after the Chad Mendes fight. I just kept getting stuck into training, and it was unreal. Yeah, so I've got a real good base right now. I'm already fit, you know, so I thought, you know, I'm going to go there early. You know, I can go there a bit earlier where the pressure's a little bit more off, and eat good, and then, you know, train hard, but at the same time, you know, still not be where you know, the pressure's right on, where, you know, I'm going to be going back home, see the family and that, and then I'll be coming back out here to finish off my camp here again, and again, just get me to that, you know, I want to peak at the right time. So I know coming here late in my camp, it really, really does help.
What do you think of the training here? Like, you know, in pads with Brad, training with like Israel and Dan, and yeah, wrestling.
Yeah, well, it's been a great atmosphere at City Kickboxing. It's always good atmosphere. It's always good training. But right now, it's just really good. Obviously, you got other guys fighting. You know, you got guys like Dan Hooker, Izzy. You know, Brad Riddell. You know, Shane Young, Kai. Like all, you know, so many high level guys over there. High level kickboxers. You know, so the training partners are high level. And right now, we've got some guys in that are helping Izzy as well. You got like Frank Hickman. You know, which I've been doing a lot of work with him. You know. And just you know, you've got a crazy amount of numbers and crazy amount of talent, you know, under the same roof, and we all, you know, all training so hard together. It's just a, you know, unreal feeling to have that. You know what I mean? Back home, it's, you know, I don't have as many full-time fighters as we have here or at Tiger Muay Thai, but you know, it's still just a, you know, obviously it's good to the base out there. What me and Joe have back home is very good to base, but it's really good to come out here and fine choosing and really pick that up. You know, train with full-time fighters 3-4 times a day, and then do that every day of the week. So it definitely is a bit of a game changer for me. But you know, I'm looking forward to going back home, working the game plan with Joe again, and then see the family, and then come back and then again peak at the right time and get ready for this big fight.
What do you credit your undefeated, your 6-0 run in the UFC to?
Hard work. I've always been a hard worker. I've always been dedicated. I've always been a, you know, motivated type of guy. Yeah, I believe I've got a lot of heart in there. You know what I mean? So I just think that goes a long way. I've always had a lot of ticker, and that's always got me through. And right now, though, you know, it's that. So I'm always going to have the ticker. I'm always going to have that drive. I'm always going to work hard. But right now, I'm leveling up every week. You know, week in, week out, I'm just leveling up. You know, it's just I'm on another level each fight. And, you know, we're starting to see that. So you can see why, you know, my undefeated run's going to go, and it's just going to continue. Because you're not going to get the same Alex Volkanovski you've seen last fight. I'm going to be a level up again. I'm going to throw more things at him that a lot of people, you know, every time I fight, a lot of people going, he's improved so much. And that just shows you with, you know, like just shows you I'm still new to this sport. That just shows you where I can be. And just within, by the end of the year, I'm expecting to take that belt, and I'm going to have the whole world talking about how good I am, you know, and that's not a cockiness. I'm not a cocky type of person. I'm just really confident in my abilities, and I know there's so much more room for improvement. So it's scary. I think that's very scary for these featherweights.
What do you think a win over Aldo will do for, you know, your career and then maybe title intentions?
Mate, this fight is huge. You know, fighting Aldo is already just for my career, just for me, it's such a big fight. You know what I mean? Fighting a legend of the sport, but when we're talking rankings and you know what I mean, obviously, you know, he's the #1 contender right now. So you take him out, you're the guy. You're the one who's fighting for that title next, 100%. And if Max is fighting a lightweight and he doesn't choose to come back down, I'll fight someone for the interim. You know, I honestly believe you're a fool to think that I won't be there. I'm the only one who has a clear run at the title, really. You know, undefeated, taking out all the top guys, taking out #1 guy. The only guy that beat Aldo that's there is Max Holloway, the champ. You know what I mean? So, you know, Frankie's waiting Frankie's sitting there waiting for a shot or something, but letting me fight Aldo, I go out and win. Sorry, Frank, but I'm ahead. I'm the next guy.
Where are you better in Aldo in this matchup?
Cardio is one thing. You know, I believe I'm better than anyone cardio, but I'm just very well rounded. He's very well rounded, very explosive. Again, the game's changing. The game's evolving. I'm going to throw things at him that timing, and a lot of the things I do is more calculated. The way I blend all the disciplines together, I believe I do it better than anyone else. Plus my cardio, I just think it's just too much to handle, especially knowing that if I'm struggling one place, I can take it to so many other places. I can stand with the best of them. I can wrestle with the best of them. I can grapple with the best of them. And then again, I put it together better than anyone in the UFC, I believe.